Have you ever felt that little knot in your stomach right when you're about to speak English? It's a feeling so many of us know. And this title, it's not an accusation. It's really an acknowledgement. So today, let's just gently unpack that feeling. Let's try to understand it and maybe find a kinder way to move forward. Okay, let's dive in. Wow. I mean, this quote, it just hits home, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that frustrating gap between the person you know you are and the person you feel like you can be in English. You've got all these thoughts and ideas, jokes, stories right there inside you, but they just seem to get caught somewhere between your brain and your mouth. And it's not because you're not smart. It's something else entirely. So let's start right there with that stuck feeling, that moment where you hesitate, where you just freeze up. Before we even talk about why it happens or how to fix it, let's just sit with it for a second and admit that it's real. And you know what? It's completely valid. Now, here's the thing about this feeling. It can be incredibly isolating. We so often think, ugh, it must just be me. Everyone else seems to be doing fine. But I promise you that could not be further from the truth. This is one of the most common, most shared experiences in language learning. You are definitely not alone on this journey. Not even close. Do any of these look familiar? I'm gonna bet they do. That feeling of being so self-conscious. You know, like there's a giant spotlight on you and it's highlighting every little imperfection. And then there's the big one, the fear of making mistakes. We get so terrified of saying the wrong thing or using the wrong tense that we just end up saying nothing at all. We get lost inside our own heads, just overthinking every little thing, trying to translate and perfect the sentence before it even has a chance to come out. And, of course, that worry about our accent, that fear that it makes us sound, I don't know, less than. All of this just combines into that final, really painful point, feeling like a lesser version of yourself. So, okay, we've established that this feeling is real and it is super common. But to really start changing things, we need to understand where it's coming from. So now let's kind of look under the hood a little bit and explore the psychology behind all this fear. This is the big question, isn't it? Because this whole thing isn't actually about your English ability. It's not a measure of your vocabulary or your grammar skills. This is about what happens in our minds when we're put into a situation that feels really high stakes, even if we're just ordering a coffee. And this, right here, this illustrates the core conflict perfectly. Inside our heads, we've created this idea of a performance. We think every conversation is a test, and we have to get an A+. We believe we need perfect grammar, a flawless accent, the most intelligent words. But the reality of why we actually communicate is so much kinder. Think about it. When you talk to someone you care about, are you sitting there grading their grammar? Of course not. You're just connecting. You're sharing an idea or a feeling. You know, communication is like a bridge between two people, and that bridge can be built with beautifully imperfect words. It's totally okay. I absolutely love this analogy. Think of your brain like a smartphone. When you're speaking your native language, you've probably got one or two apps open. It's smooth, it's fast. But when you switch to English, well, suddenly you have 50 apps running all at once. You're trying to translate, you're searching for vocabulary, you're checking grammar rules, you're worrying about pronunciation, you're trying to listen to the other person, and you're worrying about what they think of you. I mean, no wonder it freezes up. Your brain isn't failing you, it's just doing way too much at once. It's overloaded. And what's really fascinating is how our specific background plays a huge role in this. The challenges aren't exactly the same for everyone. So if your native language, like Spanish, for example, has very consistent phonetic rules, you know, where letters almost always make the same sound, then English can feel completely chaotic and just frustrating. A word like hiccup being pronounced hiccup makes absolutely no sense. And this isn't just a technical problem. It creates this deep-seated feeling of uncertainty and anxiety. Your specific frustrations are often directly linked to the beautiful logic of your own native language. Okay, so we understand the feeling, and we get some of the reasons why it happens. Now for the hopeful part. Look, we can't just press a button and delete the fear, but what we can do is change our relationship with it. We can start to very gently rewire our responses. And it doesn't start with grammar books, it starts with our mindset. These 3 steps are incredibly powerful, mainly because they're things you can do right in the moment. So first, when you feel that wave of panic start to creep in, don't fight it, just notice it. Take a breath and maybe say to yourself, okay, there's that nervous feeling. Hello again. Just greeting it like an old acquaintance takes away so much of its power. Second, consciously reframe the situation. Remind yourself, this is not a test. This is just a chat. I'm just connecting with another person. And finally, bring yourself into the present moment. Most of our fear lives in the future. What if I make a mistake? What if they don't understand me? Try to focus on the one word you're saying right now. Listen to the one sentence the other person is saying right now. Just being present grounds you, and it really quiets that anxious chatter about what might happen next. This might just be my favorite piece of advice in this whole thing. It sounds so strange at first, right? I mean, we all want to be witty and smart and interesting, but that desire, that pressure to be brilliant is exactly what causes us to freeze up. Daring to be dull just means giving yourself permission to be simple, to say a simple sentence, to not have the perfect, clever response ready. It's all about lowering the stakes. And the funny thing is, when you give yourself permission to be a little dull, you relax, and your natural, interesting self has a much better chance of actually showing up. Oh, this is so crucial to understand. Every single mistake you make is not a failure. It's evidence. It's proof that you're in the game, that you're being brave enough to actually try. You literally can't get better without them. So instead of fearing them, try to see them as the very stepping stones that are moving you forward. The most important part is that you have to give yourself this permission. Nobody else can give it to you. Okay, so we've talked about those in-the-moment mindset shifts. Now let's talk about the long game. Because confidence, well, it's not built overnight. It's the result of small, kind, consistent actions. So let's explore a few simple habits you can start to weave into your daily life to really build up that foundation. See, these aren't huge commitments. They're just small acts of kindness to your future self. Starting your day with a positive affirmation, actually saying it out loud, it literally primes your brain for success. Journaling is amazing because it lets you use English with no audience. You can just write, explore your thoughts, make mistakes, it's totally fine. It gives all those overloaded thoughts a place to go. Guided meditation in English is such a beautiful, gentle way to practice your listening in a really calm state. And finding a language partner for a 5 or 10-minute chat a few times a week, well, that's about as low pressure as it gets. It's practice, but it's disguised as connection. You know, we really need to redefine what consistency even means. It doesn't mean studying for 3 hours every single day without fail. That just leads to burnout. True, sustainable consistency is about what you do most of the time. It's about a small, kind habit. Maybe it's 5 minutes of journaling. Maybe it's just one affirmation. It's the gentle repetition over weeks and months that actually rewires your brain and builds real, lasting confidence. It's all about being kind to yourself, not punishing yourself. And this is just so important. Like we said at the very beginning, you are not the only one who feels this way. So find your people. Find a language exchange partner who just gets it. Join an online community of learners. Tell a supportive friend about your goals and your fears. Sharing the struggle makes it feel so much lighter, and sharing the small wins makes them feel so much bigger. Community is really the antidote to that isolation that fear creates. So as we wrap things up, I really want to leave you with this question. Not, what huge goal are you going to accomplish this year? No, just, what's one small, kind step you can take for your English today? Maybe it's listening to one song in English. Maybe it's writing one sentence in a journal. Maybe it's just looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I am learning and that is brave. Whatever it is, let it be small and let it be kind, because that is how this journey truly begins.